Hello, everybody. Welcome to an episode of Learning with Belvista Studios. As you know, this is a place for my team and I to be curious and learn from people that we want to learn from to help us be better instructional designers and learning and development practitioners. And a big place in our hearts as a team is in the healthcare industry. So today I've got a guest, Katie, from the Cancer Council Queensland. And we're really flattered that you said yes to be here. This is a great opportunity for us to learn and to serve people in that industry, like learners in that industry, better. So thanks for being here, first of all.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'll just give people a bit of context about, like, literally one sentence about what you're doing, just to set the framing for the conversation. But basically, you're Queensland, which is our state in Australia's leading cancer charity. So not-for-profit, working across every aspect of cancer and supporting families affected by cancer when they need it most. Definitely can vouch for that. You speak on behalf of the community on cancer issues. You empower people to reduce their cancer risk and find new ways to better detect and treat cancer. So very exciting things, but I know your role is specific to developing training for your internal employees, as well as a very large volunteer base. My first question is, there's always constraints with not-for-profit. What might some of those constraints when developing employees or volunteers, just to paint the picture for people, what are they in your world?
Constraints, in terms of, give me an example.
So I know, like, not-for-profit, they're always like, we don't have much budget or we don't have much time. Especially with you guys having such a volunteer-based audience as well. They're geographically dispersed. They're coming in for their own reasons, not necessarily being paid to be there. So that's kind of what comes to mind, but you may have more that might have stimulated more for you.
Yeah, no, honestly, the volunteers that come in and work for us, they, I guess they're so passionate about what they do that it's not really, I wouldn't say that's a challenge or a barrier for us. Like, they absolutely love the work that they do. And we love training them. We love being able to work with them, and they really take on board everything that, you know, we offer to them in terms of training. So wow. Obviously from a compliance standpoint, we, you know, induct them in that sense, orientate them to who we are and what we're all about, which generally they already know, because they have most likely been touched by cancer, or they know someone who has been touched by cancer, which really is what I guess prompts them to work with us in the first place. So when it comes to actually delivering that training, they really enjoy it, and I think they're always looking for more, which is awesome.
That's really cool. So you got in the volunteers, they're highly motivated to contribute, and therefore they really embrace anything that you provide them for them to be able to contribute better.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What about internal employees? Are they in the same place, do you reckon?
Look, I think, you know, there's always going to be that barrier where, you know, some people love it, some people hate it. It's that thing that comes around every year, that is, you know, you got to do it to, you know. But for us, it's more about ticking a box. It's about making it relatable back to our mission, and what we're all about. So reminding our employees, you know, what we're here for, and incorporating all of that into our training, which I think, and we space it out as well throughout the year and try to make it as relatable as possible to their job, you know, which I think, you know, for the most part, people enjoy it. Yeah.
What are some ways that you might integrate that messaging around your mission in there to remind them?
We use a lot of stories, so real stories from our clients, our volunteers, people who have used our services. So integrating that throughout. yeah, and just really bringing it back to what our mission is. What are we here for every single day? Why do you come to work every day? And how can we improve the lives of people in Queensland living with cancer?
Yeah.
It's really, really the message that, you know, we incorporate throughout our training.
Yeah, nice. With those stories, I imagine some of them are quite sensitive. First of all, would the stories be, I don't know, just text and like a testimonial almost, or would you have video stories?
We have some videos. Yeah, we've got some short videos that are up on our YouTube channel as well. So I incorporate a lot of those throughout, just, well, not a lot, I guess, you know, it's really, again, you know, about bringing back that message. So keep our employees on track about what the training is all about. And I've lost my train of thought.
No, that's all right. So I was saying about the sensitivity, but in the stories, and then how are you presenting them at the moment? Is it just kind of like testimonial type things, videos?
Yeah, it's mostly videos of our volunteers and people who have lived through cancer. Yeah. And it's about the approach as well, I suppose. You know, you mentioned obviously it is a very sensitive topic, and it's the same with our volunteers work with us because they've been touched by cancer. A lot of our employees also work with us for that same reason. So it's really about shaping the messaging around cancer. It's not a death sentence anymore. There's, you know, survival is increasing, and it's not, you know, it's we can, you know, continue working on that and hopefully have a brighter outlook. You know, our mission is to, you know, live with the world free of cancer. So that's, you know, it's a high goal to achieve, but we hope that one day we'll get there.
Yeah, definitely possible, I believe.
Yeah.
I was curious as well around language, like in terms of how do you create emotion effectively? Like, is there certain ways that you frame things, or I don't know, is there certain terms, like you said, I can't remember your exact words now around the ending of your mission, but it sounded very specific to, like, I can't remember now, but yeah, is there specific terms and ways that you frame things that motivate people emotively?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I think it's just about putting that positive, I guess, you know, as positive as we can frame it, really. And we don't focus too heavily, obviously, on the negative aspects either. It's really about focusing on, you know, reminding our employees and our volunteers what our services are, and how we can contribute regardless of where we work in the organisation. So if you work in finance, if you work in facilities, or if you're working in research or anywhere across that organisation, we can all play a part, a small role, whatever that may be.
Yeah, that's cool. So a lot of your initiatives are really linking, even if you may not have any touch point with an external customer or anything, you're still making sure that the link is made between how they, I don't know, process payroll and how that impacts someone that it's kind of like the ripple effect, and you're still having a positive impact on our mission by regardless of where you sit.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
That's cool. Have there been any specific initiatives, or even like one activity, whether it's in a code of conduct or I don't know, any kind of compliance course, that you're particularly proud of the impact that it had, or the talk around what it might have stirred up for people?
That's a really, really good question. Let me think. We do have one of the training modules that we developed for our volunteers was around the cancer experience. So that, you know, the starting journey from really, really simple, what is cancer? through to all those kind of touch points that we might have with them throughout their journey. And I think a lot of people really related to that. I found it quite beneficial and useful for, again, reminding them what they're here for, why they're working with us.
Yeah. So empathy, how you were getting them to, empathize with who they would be serving and who they're impacting.
Yeah.
That's cool. What about, it might just be me, but I feel like anything in the medical field or sciencey, like even I think actually to nature, you know how they have like Latin terms for trees and plants and stuff, and there's like even like the novel coronavirus blah blah blah, whatever it was called, there's like lots of terms, I imagine, in some of your training and that. How do you get people to like remember them, or what ways are you kind of training that when you've got lots of acronyms and things that you're not necessarily going to stick in your head? Any creative ways?
Diagrams and videos. Yeah. Yeah.
That brings me
short
back
answer.
to school. No, I'm remembering back to school, like in like the science ones where it was diagrams, and then I guess for me it was remembering and then quickly forgetting after my exams because I had nothing to apply it to. So that's actually a good epiphany moment for me. That's cool. And what about in terms of that journey and being able to kind of apply? So you're saying like help them understand and empathize with someone's journey. Any tips on how you're getting them to remember to consider that the next time they interact with someone?
To be honest, I think that it's a lot of our volunteers have been with us for such a long time that it's ingrained in what they do every single day. And again, with a lot of them having that personal experience, I think it really is just ingrained in everything they do, and the training that we delivered to them in particular is more of just a reminder to them. So I don't really think that we don't have people going rogue or whatnot. It's they know exactly what they're there for and how to approach a situation.
Yeah, it makes me think about the employee life cycle in terms of like, for people that are not as privileged to have such motivated learners, but it makes me think about in the employment life cycle, if you can recruit the right people to your organization's mission, the stuff that you're training, it's way easier for it just to become habit. Or for you to just have those people that they're naturally that way anyway.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. That's right. And we've got a really special culture at our workplace, and it's exactly as you say. Like the people that we employ are there for the right reasons. They're there because they want to help the mission. They want to contribute in some way, regardless of how large or small that might be. Yeah. So they're a very captive audience.
I think there's a lot of envious L&D practitioners listening to this. When it comes to, what was I going to say? In terms of your audience, like, and demographics, right? There's always like, I know that people say a lot around like, they're Gen Y, Z, whatever they are, and they have short attention spans, so we must do X, Y, Z. Have you got any thoughts or reflections on the like encompassing generations, and how do you consider the demographics of your audience? What's your experience?
Yeah, when I first started with the organisation, it was really my first opportunity to design something, to design e-learning that I was almost given, I wouldn't say a free rein, but I was given this opportunity to really like design something great, and so I kind of steamrolled with that. tried to make it as interactive and fun as possible, and building in puzzles and all sorts of fun things, thinking that is what, from my perspective, that's what I would like to do as a learner. Feedback quickly made me realize that we do have a very obviously wide demographic, a wide audience. And so I think something I've really learned in this role in particular is restraint, learning how to hone it back in and tailor it very specifically to those audiences. So what I designed for our volunteers is a little bit different, a little bit shorter and a little bit more simplified than what say we might give to our employees. And something we're doing, a new project that we've started is actually trying to build up our younger volunteer base at the moment. So we've almost come full circle actually back to the beginning, and now I've sort of got this opportunity to start designing some really cool fun stuff again for that particular audience. So it's really about, I've learned a lot about different age groups, different demographics, and what they're comfortable with, and what they want in their training.
As you're saying that, it makes me think, so I've actually used the Cancer Council Queensland website for personal support, and it makes me think about it's kind of information based, right? Just for people that haven't been on it, it's headings with a kind of table of contents, and maybe like think of an FAQ, and the information's there, and it's not overly, I don't know, filled with the stories and things that you're talking about, but it's very intentional. And if I think of myself in the state of, I was there to learn, but I needed time to digest the content because of the state that I was in and why I was seeking that learning in the first place. So I guess that's something as well, when you think about the topic that you're training on, or the information that you're providing, whether it's like a website that you're designing or a code of conduct, is what is the state of the learner that they're in, and why might they be seeking that information in the first place? And what was particularly good is it didn't need bells and whistles, because I needed the time to digest and reflect, and maybe go back up the page and go, okay, yeah, I've understood this term. What does it mean now that I know that? Or I have a further question, I could hyperlink to like a definition of what that might mean. So yeah, I think that understanding where the learner is at and why they might be learning is quite important to consider as well.
That's right. Yeah, that's obviously a very important consideration. And if we get the opportunity in the future to build some e-learning, some training specifically for that broader community base, then absolutely that's something that we'll have to consider very, very carefully. And we've got a really awesome team in our Cancer Support and Information Centre that they do this stuff every single day. They work so closely with people that call in every single day. I think they're going to be a very, very important subject matter expert when the time comes. For
yeah. Tell me about your team. Have you got a little team, and how do you work together in terms of so you're building the compliance courses? Do you have one person that focuses on the content side of it, and then one person that's doing the e-learning development? Is it quite collaborative, or does one person see it straight from one end to the finish? How do you work?
Yeah, it's pretty much just me. I work kind of across both the people HR side and also the volunteer side. So they are my team, and we are such a collaborative, close-knit team though. So I can bounce ideas off them and run everything by them that I do. So they are my subject matter experts. So I do most of the development part of it and see it through to the implementation.
A lot of people that I speak to or I hear in the industry really struggle to work solo. Is there any specific things that you do to get inspiration or like get feedback on your work? Like, what activities are you undertaking when you are that kind of leader in the solutions for your organization?
Oh gosh, talking to our people for the most part, listening to their feedback. So it's every training that we run, we always request that feedback. And beg for it.
Yes, I love
that's
it.
That's what tells me, it helps good to guide me in what, what's missing, what what the gaps might be, or what's working really, really well, what they might want to see in the future. So they help to guide me, the employees and our volunteers, guide me and teach me what they need and want.
That's cool. Would you say that the training needs come from that, or would a lot of would some of the stuff come from like the business saying, hey Katie, we need this?
A little bit of both. It's mostly more from business needs, the training that I develop. But it is also a little bit on, in that feedback as well. I take on all the suggestions that is feasible to make our training more digestible, or just more engaging, whatever they need, essentially.
Have you got any favorite websites, I don't know, books, YouTube channels that you follow for inspiration?
You know what? I love just watching the Articulate Storyline YouTube channel. I've learned so much. Like I absolutely love the e-learning design aspect of my role. So I coordinate workshops and stuff as well, which is always fun. I love engaging with people. But I just love watching the YouTube videos for how to, neat little tricks. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to give that a go tomorrow. So that's what keeps me engaged and always inspired to try new things.
Yeah, that's cool. There are so many creative things out there. I'm like, oh my gosh. We've got a Facebook group, and what I love about that is people will share, like, look at this cool example that I found. And we also have a show as well where I'm like, that was the whole thing of starting the show, was get people on that are making cool things so we can figure out how they're being made and share that with the community. And that continuous stimulus like really helps you be a better e-learning designer for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right.
Especially if you're solo. Like, I'm very fortunate, I've got the team, so we can have our little brainstorm together or share things amongst each other. But if you're working solo, you have to seek it.
Yeah, that's right. But I just love having a play around. If I do manage to get, even 5 minutes spare time, jump in there and have a go at something. Like, if I see a really cool puzzle, or, it's always fun to try and work out specifically how they might have done it and replicate it. And how I can apply that in the training that I design.
Are you sounds like your Articulate Storyline then. Have you done much in Rise or any of the other tools as a preference?
I've doubled a little bit with Rise, but I love I love how customizable Storyline 360 is. I just find it really, it's just so many things you can do with it. And I find that as I think I've learned everything there is, and then I learn more. Yeah,
that's cool. It sounds like you might do some face-to-face facilitation.
Yeah, we do. Yes. So mostly with our employees from that. In their first few weeks, we'll invite them along to an orientation day. So I facilitate those workshops every 6 weeks or so. And then we run a leadership program throughout the year as well. So coordinating, arranging those ones as well, facilitating. So I really like that part of my job too. I love I just love being able to start with an idea and just see it through to the end.
You've got all your favorite things happening. It's like your dream job. That's really cool.
Yeah, I love what I do. Yeah, I think the most rewarding part is when, you know, you can see that people appreciate what they've received, or you know, if they say like, hey, that's a really, really cool thing that, you know, was in there, I loved learning about this, or, you know, just being able to, I guess, feel like they are a part of our mission. You know, hopefully by the end of their 6-week kind of induction training, they, you know, that's really the goal, to make them feel a part of who we are and what we do. Equipped with the skills to, you know, perform their role to their best.
It's I think it's a really nice reflection of your passion being appreciated, because like you sound very passionate about your job, your energy lifts up when you speak about it, and then you're experimenting, you know, trying to learn the, like you said, the puzzle and things like that. And when you're putting that into your work, that it's coming from a place of good intent, and then your learners are really receiving and having a better experience as a result of that. And I do find that the more I talk to people, and anytime I've personally been super passionate about something, it has had an exponential impact. So I definitely encourage people listening to do that.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it shows, you know, I think having that passion and drive behind it is obviously that, you know, personal encouragement to continue giving it 100% every day, and you know, and again, coming back to our mission, why we're here, why we do what we do every day. It's really important, and I love that I get to be a small part of it.
Yeah, that's cool. Wow. Get the right people. Go get the right job is what I want people to hear here. Like, work for the company that you connect in the way that Katie's expressing. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's really important. But obviously as well, connect.
I'm definitely down for that. Do you notice a difference between when you design a solution for the e-learning versus face-to-face? Is your process any different, would you say?
No, I don't think I would say it's particularly different. No, I think when I came into the organisation, it was already the face-to-face kind of aspect of it. The employee inductions that we run were already quite well established. So I was able to run with that ball, and it just kind of works. It just works really well. It always has. But again, you know, taking on that employee feedback as well, of, you know, each time, and making little tweaks here and there. With the e-learning, it's really all the resources are already there for me as well. So obviously it's all internal kind of stuff that goes into the training. So my process is really identifying what those resources are, and working with you know, my team to develop the content, and then start building.
What kind of resources would you call on as your starting point when you're starting a project?
Mostly our company guidelines, policies and procedures. That sort of thing. Yeah, for the most part, that's predominantly my go-to resourcing.
Okay, because I want to go into your passion a bit more. If you had a dream project for your organization, if the people were like, build whatever learning solution to solve whatever problem is most close to your heart for us, Katie, what would you do and how would you do it?
I really want to design training for both health professionals and our broader community. I think, you know, they are the people who are using our services every day, and I honestly would love to be a part of their journey and design some training for them in particular.
That's cool. Do you have any specific things that you're like, I'd love to get the opportunity to do that for them.
Oh gosh. I think that's a good question. I think working closely with health professionals to I guess encourage them to work with us in return and refer on their clients, their patients back to us as well. So I guess it's that little three-way circle of how we can all work together and help each other. Yeah.
Do you think they would be open to it? Because I know, like, well, from my experience, the health professionals, they're very under pressure. And obviously they want to do the best for their intention is to do the best for the people that they're serving, but their conditions of work or what they're doing is just like crazy. So they don't always have the mental capacity. I don't know what my question was now. That's terrible.
In my experience, I have in my previous roles, I have worked more closely with health professionals in delivering education to them, and honestly, they're always really, really receptive. They make the time to educate themselves. Because again, that's what they're passionate about, and they're there for the patient. So I don't really foresee that as a barrier so much. That's
cool. It's just basically letting them know that it's available to them, and then they'll leech onto it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Cool.
And there's avenues, to go through as well, to link in with organisations that health professionals are linked in with. As potential opportunities to distribute education.
That's cool. Very special and important work that is potentially on your horizon in the near future.
I hope so. Cool. It's the dream.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to express? I feel like I've extracted my curiosity is satisfied at the moment. So
no, I don't think I have anything to add.
Okay. Well, I guess in summary from me, like, it's from an employee perspective, attract the right people to the organization, because L&D is bigger than just training, right? It's about employee experience. So I would encourage the people listening to attract the right people that are aligned to your mission, so that you can have a better impact through what you're trying to achieve strategically. And then the why, particularly for compliance stuff, is not even an issue because they just get it. I wouldn't say it's not an issue, but it's the motivation is a lot stronger then. And then the third part is just that passion. When you are aligned to an organization's mission, you want to do better. You're seeking in your 5 minutes of freedom or downtime, your own self-curiosity to like go learn, and then you're a better learning designer and a better employee and all these sorts of things. So definitely that passion has a big contributor to the impact that you can have in your role.
Absolutely.
I like the message from this Learning with Belvista Studios episode. So thank you so much for the opportunity to learn with you. I'm very, very grateful. And I know my team are as well. And I'm sure the people listening. So people listening, the link will be in the description if you want to connect with Katie and learn more about what she's up to and her world, and also share some thanks for the value that she's brought to your life by listening to this video or podcast, whatever it is. And thank you everyone that chooses to learn with Belvista Studios. We appreciate your support as always. What's up, awesome human? Thank you on behalf of myself and the Belvista Studios team for continuously choosing to learn with us. We really appreciate it. If the tips and the insights and the context resonate with you and you want to take your skills to the next level, or you want to make your life way easier, you will love our Creator Hub. The Creator Hub is a place
for people like you and us. Basically, it's the stuff that we use internally at Belvista Studios, and then we just share it publicly with you. The Creator Hub is created by instructional designers for instructional designers, and what you'll love there at the moment is we've got a quiz, could I be a better instructional designer, that has so much tips in the feedback if you're interested in human-centered design or just taking your skills to the next level in terms of the solutions you're creating, the problems you want to solve. But in there as well, aren't we cute? That's us. But we've got the coaching courses, freebies, give us gratitude, and also we've got some templates. And basically they're always around the lens of learning experience design, instructional design, and e-learning. So a human-centered design focus is very much what we're about at Belvista Studios. So putting your learners at the heart of a solution and creating something for their needs. So there's the human-centered design stuff, and then we've also got the business stuff. So this is the stuff they don't teach you about when you want to become a freelancer or a consultant in the instructional design world. So go check it out. The link is in the description. You can check out everything that is available for you. Thank you for choosing to learn with us. Continuously invest in your skills. You will be rewarded as an instructional designer. Share this stuff, share it with other people, because when we are better instructional designers, we create better solutions that create better humans, that create a better world. So we have a very important role, and I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Have an awesome day.